Hello, everyone, and welcome on in to Rome's Reality Podcast. I do not know what this is about to be. I don't know what this is going to look like, what this is going to sound like. I have no idea what I'm getting into right now. But you know what? I'm doing what it seems like almost every former Survivor player is doing right now. I'm starting a podcast, man. I'm doing it as well. If everyone's going to start one, I might as well do it. I like to yap, so I'm sure there's going to be at least one or two of you out of the tens of millions of people that watch my season that might be interested in tuning in. And, it's not just going to be me on this journey. That would be absolutely insane to just be sitting here talking forever. I got a couple people with me. And, the people that I got, are probably people that maybe you might not have heard of before. Maybe if you really follow like a ton of podcasts, you might have heard these guys or run across one of their previous channels. But they've got a ton of podcasting history. So first off, I'm going to introduce Kevin, who formerly was from the podcast For the Fans. How are you doing, Kevin?
I'm good, man. Good to talk to you, Rome. Good to be here, dog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Then on the other side, of course, we got my boy Jake, who is coming from the Compassionate Haters podcast.
What's going on? I have the worst mic in the world, apparently. I have to not touch the cord at all that it's attached to. Just modern technology. You love it.
Well, Jake, just hands up. Keep him next to the microphone.
Hands up the whole time.
The whole time.
Anything in my
Well, make sure to drag
my
it
little
out.
studio.
That way his arms get really tired throughout the podcast.
Think of it as a individual immunity challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just thinking about the gains I'm going to get in my arms after this.
Yeah, unleash your inner poverty. That's what you got to do right now.
Here we go.
Yep. All right. So listen. All right. So we have a couple of episodes that we're going to be breaking down on the podcast today. Now, when it comes to this, I'm Rome from Survivor 47. I didn't introduce myself. I feel like, if you're listening to the very first podcast, you probably know who I am, so, it's Rome from Survivor 47. And I'm going to be giving my insights, from a player's perspective, while Kevin and Jake, they've been longtime fans of the show. They're super, super big fans of this thing. Kevin, I know you've went to in-person events. You came to my Phoenix watch party, actually, which was really cool being able to meet you in person, after like listening to you on the pod. And then Jake, have you ever been to an in-person event before?
No, I would always think about going to something. I live in Chicago, so things are happening all the time, and I just never get around to it, I love being at home,
Jake, you got to do like Suri and get up off the couch. And go on out there to a watch party and meet some of these peoples and say hello to the people out there. It's nice being amongst like-minded folk.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, and the fact you're in Chicago,
you got to get around to it.
Like the fact you're in Chicago, man, you definitely got to do it because like there's so many Chicago events. Like I know Bryce and Wynn, they go there pretty much every season, and those Chicago
every
events are
season.
Awesome. I was literally there in Chicago this past season. I got to meet Ozzy. I got to meet a bunch of people. It was really, really cool. So and people always show a ton of love. And that's the good
and Bryce and Wynn put on a good event.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Bryce and Wynn put on a good event.
When it comes to watch parties, they are second to none other than, Rome hosting the Kansas watch party, which went absolutely incredible.
They are second to Rome hosting the Kansas City watch party.
No, but seriously,
that's the only one. That's the only one.
In all seriousness, no, they seriously put on absolutely incredible watch parties. They're literally the best. Like they helped me a ton with putting on my watch party. Like I literally called Wendell the morning of both of our events because obviously it's the same day, and like I just asked for last minute advice and he just was able to talk with me for like 20-30 minutes the morning of the event, and like the way that they really helped me out and just gave me any advice that I needed for putting on an event, because it is pretty wild putting on an event by yourself. They definitely show love. So if you ever have a chance to go to a Bryce and Wendell watch party, anyone listening, by all means, make your way to one. It's definitely worth it, and there's always going to be people that you weren't expecting to be there that always end up popping out. So yeah, that's what I got to say to that, Jake. Man, get up off the couch, man. Get up off the couch.
I've been to one in Philly. I've been to LA. I've been to Texas. I've been all over, man. It's fun. It's a good time.
Oh yeah,
it's a good time.
Wow, you've been all the way to Philly for a watch party?
Well, I was in Philly for other stuff, and come on, bro. I was in Philadelphia. I was around the world, but I went for a watch party. Like I went all the way there for the watch, just because of the watch party. You know what I'm saying? I was like the hometown of Bryce and Wendell.
Man, I went to New York for a watch party, but then again, it was for my season. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah, it was just for my season. Yeah,
it's a little different.
The ticket wasn't covered either. I had to figure that out. So
that's a different situation.
Yeah. But all right, we got an episode to break down. So episode 1, we've got 3 tribes. All right, we've got the Hina tribe, the Uli tribe, and we've got the Kela tribe. Right. We get introduced to them on the Matt chat. Nothing really stood out to me on the Matt chat personally. I don't know if there was anything that you guys thought stood out. I mean, maybe it was Jake talking about, his dad and how, this is going to be his dad's last season of Survivor that he's going to physically be able to see. And I thought that was really touching. But aside from that, there wasn't really too much that stood out from the Matt chat, in my opinion. I mean, we also...
One thing that stood out to me was Jason said he was an alternate.
Yes.
There was a female alternate this season too, right?
Yes, there was.
That's MC. What I heard.
MC.
Who is that? MC? Okay. Yes. MC is the female alternate. What happened to the 2 other people?
So that's the thing that people have been talking about, quite a bit. Is there was 2 people and they essentially were talking way too much at Ponderosa.
Got it.
And they got removed from the game. Survivor is very strict when it comes to talking and things like that. There was so many moments where you're passing by someone, whether it's in the food line or things like that, or on your way to your tents, and they might give you a nod and. Like you just want to give a nod as well, but you don't want to do too much because one of the handlers might see it and be like, "Hey, no communication," because they are very strict about no nonverbal communication, no verbal communication. And from everything that I've gathered, from everything that I've heard, because I've asked around a little bit about this, just a little bit, just to get a little bit behind the scenes info. I heard that there was blatant. It was so blatant they didn't have a choice. They
were yapping.
Yeah, they were yapping, openly talking about alliances in front of handlers, in front of people. The things that I heard that happened, I was mind blown. That would even get to that point. But yeah, word got back to production and they nipped that in the bud real quick. It is a very serious thing to not talk, especially at Ponderosa, and. I made sure that I did everything that I could to honor those rules because, the last thing you want to do is get kicked out of the game right before you have the opportunity of a lifetime to potentially win $1 million. Just throwing it all away just to talk, it's not worth it. It's never worth it.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, Jake.
Yeah, no, I get it.
What do you think about that situation, Jake, from an outside point of view?
I want to know what happened in this season that made everybody want to chat so much in the pregame.
My guess is that when people started yapping, other people just said, "Screw it, we're all yapping," and they just started going for it.
Was it just a situation of producers not acting quickly enough to nip it in the bud?
I think it was more. Well, that's the thing is, it's not their job to do it. It's if you do it, you're out the game. It's very strict.
You're gone.
So there's no strike. There's not really a warning thing. There's not really a warning system.
If you talk, you are gone.
Yeah, they just it. Listen, this is your chance for $1 million. If you can't shut up before the game starts, what are you doing? You do not deserve to play it. So. The fact that the people those 2 people, I guess they were probably the most egregious ones. They
probably
were so respectfully disrespectful to the rules of Survivor that the producers gave you. I'm sorry, that is just throwing your chance of a lifetime away for absolutely nothing. And it also pretty much guarantees that you won't be back as an alternate. If I'm assuming correctly, I don't see how they would trust you ever again.
They're gone. No, they're gone. That's it.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think we'll ever find out who those people are?
Nah.
I found out who one person is, but that was only because
But you're on the inside.
Yeah, I'm on the inside. I found out who one person was, but only because they were very upset and did something a little bit outlandish that, like, is
if you found out who one person is, you can probably find out who the second person is, right?
But me and Jake are commoners. We wouldn't know.
Yeah, probably. But I mean,
we're of the survivor proletariat.
No, fair. But I mean, regardless, I think that it's definitely an interesting situation. I'm surprised that there was 2 replacements. I'm surprised to hear the rumor. Like I said, it's a rumor. It's not a fact yet. It's just a rumor because we don't know. Just a rumor that they're
replacements on your season.
We didn't have any. Everyone that showed up to play played. Somebody.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we did have an alternate that was there, but she ended up being on 49. So she's on the Uli tribe. Her name is Sage. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna be completely honest, and don't hate me for this. It's either Sage or Sophie from the Yellow Tribe.
It was one of them.
I'm not sure. They look so similar. I've been trying to figure it out through these first 2 episodes. I was like, which one of these girls was sitting down at that table? Which one is this alternate? I couldn't figure it out for the life of me.
So it was one of them. Okay,
it's one of them.
You were following the rules. Like, well, why would you know who anybody is?
Exactly. I followed the rules. Exactly. There you go. Oh man. But yeah, so one of them, and then the guy alternate from our season, he's not on this season, and he wasn't on 48. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with him, but who knows? Maybe we'll see him on a future season. You never know.
Yeah.
Yep. So all right. So that's the Matt chat. I guess we got that out the way. Now, this might be a long-winded podcast. All right, you guys might be in for
that. Chat should be its own segment, I think.
Right. All right, so we get to the reward challenge. Now, the first reward is for a pot, a machete, and a flint. These are very important things to have on the first day because it means that you can start a fire, you can be warm at night, and that is the most important thing on day 1 because nobody is eating anything regardless if you win, lose. The only thing you're eating is if you find a hermit crab, is if you find, you crack open a coconut and want to eat the styrofoam coconut because they taste like just styrofoam. They don't taste like actual coconuts that you would like get coconut flavoring, things like that. Like they don't taste like that. Trust me. It tastes like styrofoam. So, you can either do that or just find a crab or try to catch one of the crabs. But hermit crabs are really the only crabs you can catch with your hands. Like until you get like the Hawaiian sling, you can maybe catch some crabs with that. But yeah, it's rough not having the flint and machete the very first night. And so, this reward challenge, it does mean a lot. It definitely means a lot.
Yeah.
Did you win the reward in your first challenge room?
No, I did not. It was a puzzle.
They did not. They did not.
Yeah. I lost.
They were not good at puzzles.
Yeah, every single puzzle except for one.
They were
2 puzzles.
Really bad at puzzles.
Yeah, we were bad as a tribe at puzzles, but we did 2 puzzles, and both of the puzzles we did were block puzzles. So our tribe was good at block puzzles. We were just really bad at the vertical puzzles, like you know what I'm saying? So like the very first tribal challenge was somewhat of a block puzzle, but it was a block puzzle with like pegs. So like it had to go like exactly the way that it fit or whatever. I wasn't on that puzzle. That was, I believe, Keyshawn and Asia. Yeah, it was Keyshawn and Asia on that one. And yeah, we didn't win that one. So it was definitely tough. And then Asia went on our journey, and she didn't win that one-on-one to get the pot and machete.
It was a tough situation. She tried to the dude came across the situation. Yeah, she was trying to go around the rules. She was trying to do the rules. He just went right across the island. It was a tough situation.
Yeah.
She lost that.
Yeah. She took that L there. TK definitely got that one. But
TK came right across the island and jumped in the water.
Yeah. Now in this one, Hina, the tribe Hina, ends up winning the reward challenge, right? Like in this one, in this challenge, I forget exactly what this challenge was, but it wasn't a mud challenge, which I feel like Survivor took some feedback from the fans saying that why are they diving into mud immediately? We can't tell who they are, and waited until the immunity challenge to have the mud challenge. I think that was actually a good change up in episode 1. So props to Survivor for potentially listening to the fans about that one and stuff.
Agreed. I do like how they had it broken down that you see like 2 at a time. That way you can see individuals, so you can get an idea of like, oh, this dude is fast. This dude can swim well. Yep. This girl's quick. This one's slow. Like it gives you an idea of who each of them are before you you actually know who the names are.
Now, Jake, Jake, excuse me. Aside from Jake in the game, being able to carry the giant box, really fast and all that stuff, and Annie, rolling the box. If you were out there on the island, where do you think you would be when it comes to this challenge?
Well, that's the big reveal here, Rome. It's actually me on the island. I'm Jake from Survivor 49.
What? You're an insider too?
Yeah, that's me. I'm from Canada, eh? I'm the big strong Jake from the TV.
Oh, man.
It is very funny to look at the notes and realize you're talking about Jake from the TV and not like immediately addressing me. And I was always like, wait, do I have to do something? Why are you talking to me?
No, I think that Jake in the game did a very good job of setting his tribe up for success. Bringing that thing back, still sprinting with it, was huge. But ultimately, Hina won.
He could have did a better job. He could have did a better job though.
In what way?
Because he brought his back, but he didn't go back and get Annie's.
Did he really not? He didn't go back? I thought he met her halfway.
He met her halfway. Yes, he did. But as she was rolling it, he got back in record time. He should have just ran back and picked it up and her and ran back because they would have had a lead.
Yeah. Now this is the thing I will say. Sometimes there are unspoken rules that don't get explained to us. Like when Jeff breaks down the challenge for the TV, I'm not going to lie. I was so confused when Jeff broke down the challenge for the first time because I was like, wait, what? Because literally he was talking with us and then Jeff just goes into his thing right after we're all on the mats. He's like, all right, so in this challenge, you're going to go out there, jump out there. And what you hear on TV is what Jeff says to us before he tells us the rules and stuff. So he's just telling the exact of the challenge. And we're like, wait, hold on, wait, we're doing this? We have to go back through it again and he takes each tribe individually. But it is one of the most breeze through things that they do on the show that they don't exactly say. So one of the rules might have been each person has to fully bring back their crate. That you can't help
that makes sense.
With a crate. That could have been a rule. I don't know if it was, but just saying it could have been.
No, of course. I'm
not going to fully fault him,
course,
just in case that might have been a caveat there.
Yeah, that would make sense because I was like, he got back, he should have went and picked that woman up along with the box and came back.
What if he carried Annie on his shoulders and Annie carried the bag?
She carried the box.
Oh man,
that would have been interesting.
Yeah, that would have been savage. They end up losing even with all those heroics. They end up losing. So Hina wins. They're happy. MC was the one that got on top of the box, the alternate, and she hit the bell with the thing. I thought it was interesting. You had to get on the box to remove the gong thing from the stick. Then the stick, then it lands on the ground. You got to get off the box, grab the gong thing off the ground, then get back on the box, and then jump and hit the bell with the gong thing. I thought it was very just a lot of up and down movement. That's all. I don't know if there was supposed to be a way to get it and keep it on the stick, but I don't know.
I've always been a fan of you have to create the next thing you have to climb up in a challenge. That's always a fun component to me, the viewer.
Yeah. It definitely adds a level of victory feeling as well for the tribe because you're doing something on top of something you just built. It definitely makes it probably more fun for the players as well. So I mean, shout out to Hina. They definitely won that reward challenge, and then it was time to send somebody on a journey. Now, the thing that I want to say is the last season that this season watched was season 47, so it was my season. So the last thing that they saw was that two players are going to go on a journey, have a one-on-one, and somebody's going to win their tribe supplies, right? Now, what they also saw was the two people that went on those journeys were the first two people voted out from each of their tribes. So TK was the first one voted out when the blue tribe went to tribal, and Asia was the first one voted out when Lava went to tribal, right? So they saw that this isn't exactly a good thing to do, and they still were down to do it. They were both game for it. What are your thoughts on on going for this when people know the history of separating yourself from the tribe early?
It's tough because like somebody's got to do it, and like it didn't look like anyone. Like Alex seemed to have Jake seemed to make that connection instantly that he was okay, and Jake looks like Thor, and if he said it's okay, maybe I'm fine. Now Rizzo, I was a little concerned for him volunteering.
You mean Rizgod?
Rizgod, R-I-Z-G-O-D. I was not sure about my guy going because I was like, if he comes back with nothing, he could be in trouble.
Rizgod is kind of strong, though, no?
In what way? Like mentally?
No, okay. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I kind of remember him carrying like a crate or something on his back and being like, "Oh, this kid can actually like be strong."
Yeah, I think
We got a glimpse of it,
on the front.
but he definitely not mentally strong because he tells him straight up that if it's a puzzle, we're cooked. Those are his words exactly.
That can be
Did say
mentally
that.
strong because that is acknowledging your weaknesses. Like I feel the same way, Rizgod. Like if there's a puzzle, I'm cooked. I'm like it's not happening. Like I didn't sign up for Survivor to do a puzzle. I'm sorry. I signed up to do the physical challenge. I was ready
Rome,
for
just
sumo with
because
Steve. Like I was ready. I was ready
just
for the
'cause-
challenges.
Because you're aware of your deficiencies does not make you mentally strong. Especially if your deficiency is in the mental realm. That does not.
Listen, man, a puzzle is just not my thing, man. It's just so I understand.
I get it, Ed. Listen,
like because
you're my boy, and I get it.
Listen, there are some people that
You're my
don't-
boy, and I get
There's
it.
some people that don't practice being strong swimmers before going on Survivor, and you're like, why wouldn't you do that? Guess what? There's some
That's
people that
wild.
Don't practice being good puzzlers before going on Survivor, and you might think, why would you do that? And because I
Also
don't have
wild.
fun doing puzzles. The only type of puzzles I like are slide puzzles, and like God knows how long it's been since we've seen a slide puzzle on Survivor. Like so, and it's so.
But
crazy
you know you're going to get a jigsaw.
because that gave us one of the greatest clips ever of Tony just throwing them pieces around in circles, not knowing where to put them. That was so hilarious, and we just barely see slide puzzles anymore. I don't know why, but
you know you're going to get a jigsaw. You know you're going to get a block puzzle. You know what's going to happen.
during casting, I said so many times I'm only good at slide puzzles. I was trying to hint like, hey, put a slide puzzle on our season. They didn't do it.
They said,
exactly why they
cool.
didn't.
Jigsaws and block puzzles. That's what they said. That's what they said. And so when Rizgod says, if it's a puzzle, we're cooked, I was like, there will for sure be a puzzle
Well, you
coming
gotta
up
think,
next.
There wasn't a puzzle last time. So he might think like, yeah, last time it was all physical. So I might be able to do it. This time they switched it up and it was a puzzle with something physical. So it wasn't just physical,
Well-
it was mental too.
Well, last time with y'all season, it was the first time they didn't just do Sweat versus Savvy.
Yep.
So it was already something new. So the head-to-head already is we're already in a new realm. You know what I'm saying? So I would have already been concerned, but somebody has to do it. I thought Rizzo trying to prove his worth was an interesting pick, but I think Jawan and Nate were smart to not volunteer, and Savannah seems to be the narrator for their tribe.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like she was going to be the one putting herself out there.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting when they got to the 1v1 that, you know, once it came down to, you know, Rizzo not being able to do the puzzle well and then him looking over at Jawan's, instead of them putting, and I pay attention to this because obviously, like, I paid attention to my edit, like, they put the dodo music behind Rizzo when he was copying the puzzle. They didn't put the, oh, this is genius, triumphant, potential comeback music. They put the, no, it's a dodo move, but it's going to work music behind it. So
Yeah.
that tells me that they're not painting Rizzo to be, at least for right now, some mastermind when it comes to like the mental parts of the game. Like, because anytime you get the dodo music, it's rare that they're gonna paint you as a smart strategic player. but it might end up happening. We don't know, but I just thought it was
Okay. I mean, that's an interesting take. Okay, I'm with you to a degree, right? I don't know if it's a long-term thing, but I think it was a Dodo music because he hadn't broke open that last coconut. Because I feel like we get a music cue change once he breaks open that last coconut and he puts that in there, and then we get like that triumphant music cue. Mm-hmm. We get that rush. He pops them pieces in. He then rushes over there. We get a view of Alex on his knees. Rizgod runs right to the spot, digs in there. We get that triumphant upbeat music. He digs in there. We have the defeat on Alex's face as Rizgod pulls up the wheel. I think the Dodo music was because the coconut. He didn't get all the coconuts.
That could be it. I mean, that could be it.
Because I with you. I heard the same thing. I was like, this isn't good. But I think it was because they then show my guy only got 9 coconuts open.
Yeah. It was.
You could also see Rizgod like becoming a David Wright type. I mean, like, oh, look what he's overcome. He was this nerdy Riz boy, and now he's a real true Riz God again.
He was a Riz man, and now he's a Riz God.
Maybe that's the story of 49.
What an arc! What an arc!
That would be incredible. I think that when it comes to this challenge and how it was portrayed, it was definitely set up to be a comeback. Like, there wasn't a moment where I actually thought Alex was going to win until you realize he wasn't going to win. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the way the confessionals were, like when he said, one of his very first confessionals when the challenge started was, honestly, I'm really good at puzzles. And I was like, okay, why do you say honestly? Because like, there's no reason to say that unless you don't do well at it. So like, I'm guessing it didn't work out. So, and then
it was always going to be one of that meme where Rizzo was going to be like, he had me in the first half, not going to lie.
Yep.
It was always going to be that meme.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah. Well, that's what happens, and then let's see. So we go back to their tribes. Rizzo, it seems like they were just happy, and Alex, it didn't seem like it was an issue really at all, right? Like Alex came back, and Jake was like, "What up, bro? Like you're in." Like,
so like let's talk about these tribes like themselves, right? Because in the Hina tribe, we get like some crazy energy from all of them, right?
Yeah.
Because in Hina, they all get back. We don't see a lot of Hina at all throughout the episode, which tells me that Hina's going to win a lot, and we're not going to get them until like merge. It also tells me, based on how they've edited things, I don't know if the winner's here because they're going to come into merge. We're not going to get a lot of them. Literally, and not to jump ahead, but come episode 2, there's a person that shows up, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know if I saw him at all in the first episode.
Yeah, I mean, we already got some of the players, well, one of the players at least, talking about I think they made a TikTok saying like, dang, they should show more of the Yellow Tribe. I think they're actually interesting. Like, so it's interesting. Even the players from the Yellow Tribe are like, huh, like, we're not getting shown. But
that's what happens. Like when you're winning, they don't show you, right? Take your season for instance, right? Y'all had a lot going on because y'all were losing. Y'all lost, right? That's what happened.
We had a lot okay, my tribe. Well, my tribe was very heavily edited for losing for winning the first 2 immunities. Like we were but that was because
that's true.
I found an idol.
You had a lot going on.
Go do my.
You had a lot going on.
I had a lot going on.
Yeah, you had a lot going on for real.
Yeah,
you had a lot going on.
I was heavily edited in the pre-merge.
Yeah.
So it was what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And so I had a lot going on, with going on journeys, doing all that stuff. So there was a lot of reasons to show what was going on, showing Teeny the box, who then showed Keyshawn like 10 minutes later, and then like me catching them and all that. There was a lot of things that had to show, right?
That's facts.
So that was a little bit different. This tribe, there's no idols that have been found, like as far as we're concerned.
Correct.
Because there's been no idol talk in the first episode at all, like all the way through tribe.
At all.
Not one talk of an idol from any camp. And I thought that was really, really interesting.
Correct.
There was also no talk of shot in the dark as well. Like
at all. Not a single moment. I almost forgot that it was on this season. So in the Hina tribe, you get everybody, like you get a little quick snapshot of everybody. You hear about Steven's hearing aids. someone very kindly asked about it. You get a like nice character thing about Christina and the bugs because she basically got up off the couch. You get the fact that like MC is kind of like a power player, but like that's kind of it. You got like that they kind of like want to work together, and you got that Jason. I did love that like Jason is standing in the back, not wanting to be too forceful, but like watching them not know how to do anything and just waiting for them to ask him to do the fire.
Yeah. Jake, I feel like that's like, your approach out there on the island.
Yeah, I quietly going to sit back, observe, and definitely not judge anybody on their aspect to life or how they approach things. Like, oh, I would do it this way, but go ahead, That's how I would look at people making fire or whatever.
It was to me, it was low-key hilarious because very obviously this man can do this. And he's like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna just wait. And then they're like, okay, Jason, obviously you know how to do this. Can you do this? Boom, boom, fire. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to make some food?
Jason or Matt?
Matt, there we go. Matt, my bad. Yeah, okay. It's always early for me to learn these people's names. Matt, you're right. That's my bad. It was Matt.
This that was like on my tribe as well. Like when we got the flint. When we got the flint after the immunity challenge on day 3. First thing I tried to do was start the fire because I'm like, man, I could literally make a fire in a few seconds at home. Like this is the easiest thing in the world, right? And I was getting the sparks, but I couldn't get it to catch on the magnesium, and that's because the thing that people don't realize is out there in Fiji, it is humid as I don't know what, which means all the wood, everything, all the leaves, it's all damp. Like none of it is like truly dried out, right? Because it's so humid. It's not like that in Phoenix, Arizona, where it's a dry heat and it's 110 degrees and I'm actually making a fire, right? So it's obviously easier to make a fire for me in Phoenix, Arizona than it is in Fiji. So when I was sitting here trying to do it, I was trying for like probably 10 minutes and I couldn't get it. And I'm like, what is going on? Like I could literally get it in a few seconds at home. And then I think like Teeny tried, and then I think Asia tried, and then Keyshawn tried, and Keyshawn was able to get it after a few minutes, right? And so and then Keyshawn, he had his moment where he was like, he didn't make the fire, I made the fire, right? Where he was able to feel good. So it does feel good when you see like your tribe not being able to do things they think they can do, and then stepping in and being able to be the one to accomplish it. So I could totally understand where Jason's coming from. About feeling good, and like you said, he knew he could do it. He stepped in, and boom, fire.
Well, speaking of vibes, though, you got the Yuli tribe, right? Who's like literally just vibes. But then you have Nate, who is team no vibe.
Yeah,
he does it because he's like an adult, but having to like hear words that he never heard of, such as Riz and fire and chill. And this is a lot of words.
Vibes, aura.
Yeah.
It was all there. And Nate was not vibing with it. That actually happened in episode 2, which we will get to. That's
okay.
In episode 2. But yeah, either way, he was realizing, man, I'm a little bit out of place when it comes to this group, because they are very, very much skewed toward the younger generation group, right?
Getting
at.
But then you have Sage, who's like talking about pooping all the time.
Yeah. Like what's going on with that? I don't know. I don't know.
And she said she had to pee. She said she peed like 3 times or something.
Yeah, like anxiety before. And I guess it's not a bad thing on Survivor because you can go almost anywhere. But like it's like, like that's an interesting thing to bring up. Like that's. But I mean, hey, it worked for like, Kyle last season. He brought up his wart.
Who asked?
Kyle brought up his wart and he won. So I mean, maybe this is
good
a sign.
Point.
And also, Dee brought up her big toes and she won.
I guess.
Like I don't think anyone asked about her big feet before her big toes.
Richard Hatch was naked his entire season and he won.
I guess, yeah. But then you have Savannah just clocking everybody.
Yeah.
You have Savannah clocking everybody. This tribe is just an interesting tribe.
Yeah, Savannah's essentially saying, like, yeah, it's vibes right now, but eventually we're going to have to vote somebody out. Like, push come to shove, this is not going to be kumbaya forever. So, like, I'll be vibes for now, but I think it's painting her as to be a very serious player with her mind on the game, not really on the semantics of it. And I can appreciate that.
Right.
Because, I definitely like a player that's, got their head about the game and not just a lot of people out there. It feels like they're trying to they're more interested about making friends for life than they are about making friends for the game, if that makes sense. And so I appreciate the fact where she's coming for, making friends for the game aspect. And I can appreciate that. But yeah, it's all vibes at Uli. And then if we finally go to Kella, I mean, it shows before Alex comes back, it shows Nicole not really being comfortable. She says to what's his name? To Jeremiah, she's like, oh man, glad we got some little color representation, which I thought that was interesting that they left that in there. But for her to say that in front of everybody, that was also pretty interesting too. And you could just tell she wasn't comfortable with that group. And she even said it in confessionals, like, this is going to be a lot to deal with this group.
Yeah.
And on the other side, it shows Sophie making connections with literally everyone. It shows her matching the vibe of each person she was talking to. Like when it showed Jake complaining about something, this isn't anything like Canada. She was like, yeah, this is nothing like Miami. When it showed, when it showed Jeremiah talking about astrology, she was like, I'm not into that, but I like to hear it though. Like, she said that. And, when it comes to Annie, she said, I really like your vibe. You're the type of person I wanted to work with. When it comes to Alex, she works with him as well. So Sophie is being painted as a very social butterfly that is doing a great job making connections with everyone right now.
Yep. Meeting each person on their level and on their terms is fantastic.
I like Sophie. I think she's to coin a phrase, good vibes. I feel like she's doing a good job of like recognizing where they're at in the game currently and also where they're going to be in 16, 20 days. Setting herself up for success, I think.
I agree. I think Sophie seems to know how to make sure she goes far.
Yeah. And then also at Kella, we have Jake being the shoe bandit to Nicole, the first victim of the shoe bandit. What are your thoughts, Kevin? I'm gonna ask you specifically because I want to know how you would feel if someone misplaced your shoe, and when you find it in a bush, you pretty much know someone put it there because obviously production wouldn't do it and you didn't do it. So who put your shoe there? How would you feel?
I'll be confused as to why my shoe's over there. I would feel like someone did it on accident because that's the only thing that makes sense. Now, in episode 2, when it happens again, obviously mine wasn't a mistake. You know what I'm saying? The first time it happens, it was a mistake, but the moment it happened again, we now have a case.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me.
Yeah.
We got a case.
Yeah, now it's time to start putting together these clues, and I'm bringing out the board with the pins and the string, and I said 2 days ago, my shoe, and I'll have my picture of my shoe on the board with the thumbtack.
Yep,
like that's
out there.
Exactly. But the first time I would be like, that's weird, but like, I don't know how that happened because it's not a normal thing, right? It's odd, but it's like you said, production didn't do it. But maybe when someone was moving some stuff, it happened to fly over there. I don't know. Because
happened to fly.
Why is it
crazy? I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like what I mean by fly is not like sprout wings, but like when people were like moving stuff around, maybe things got moved and to that it got pushed over there. I don't know, but I mean it's the attempt to try to make logic out of an illogical thing.
I mean, Jake, what do you think about the shoe bandit shenanigans?
Okay, so here's the reason for taking everybody's shoes. I thought it would be funny. And the fact that other people don't think it's funny and just find it confusing, I'm sorry my joke wasn't good. That's what I want to say about the shoe bandit. It was just a prank. I'm sorry my prank was bad. I'll go back to Canada, whatever.
Okay, Jake. Okay, Jake.
Jake, you gotta do better, dog. You gotta do better.
Your
It's
Jake
like
impression is
I
a lot
wanted
of
to
work.
bring some levity to the island. This is what we do in Canada. Steal each other's shoes.
I'm very confused.
I
by
would
it,
be
too, 'cause
annoyed.
I don't see the end game for it. I don't see the what is what is this going to do for you in the long run, right? Like, and he even said
That's my question as
it's
well.
for a little bit of chaos and for a little bit of entertainment. But who is this entertaining for? Is it entertaining for just you? Because you're the only one that knows about it. Because you're not telling anyone you're doing this. So really, you're just terrorizing your tribe mates, right? Like you're just like really, you're just
And isn't that funny?
for us.
I mean,
yeah, it's
didn't you
great.
base your whole game on sowing chaos, Rome?
No, not at all. I didn't sow any chaos. I feel like I was very straightforward with everything. Like just to a point where it was my downfall. I feel like that was the opposite of what I did. Like I did the opposite of chaos. Everyone knew exactly where I was voting every night. Like there was no surprise about anything I did. Like, you know, so
Chaos ensued because of Rome, but it wasn't created by Rome.
there you go.
That's legitimately what happened. It was because of his actions, but it wasn't by his actions.
There you go. This shoe bandit thing wasn't an accident. It wasn't just him playing the game. This is
Correct.
going and taking someone's personal item and moving it to a
Correct.
place where it's not far enough where production's like bring it back, bro. You can't just throw it up the mountain. Like, come on. Like, you know,
Right.
like he moved it 10 feet away. So it's legal. It's in the book, right? It's legal.
Right.
It's now forever a doable survivor move to move people's shoes 10 feet away within the distance and hide them, right? So I think it's interesting because as far as I'm concerned, I thought you weren't allowed to do that. Just being completely honest.
What happened in that one season, though, where she buried, what's his name's alligator shoes in the river?
That was so long ago. That was Gabon. Like, or Africa. Which one was that? That was so long
I don't
ago.
remember.
It was one of those two.
Something.
Something
It was
old.
something.
Either way, that's 10 plus years ago.
Something old.
Yeah.
But either way,
So,
production's changed a lot, right? Since then, right? There's a lot of rules. I mean, you literally can't even sleep next to someone anymore. You have to have like a bamboo stick in between you, like at all times.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
interesting.
Like me and Saul slept
Weird.
on the beach almost every night together, and we had to keep a bamboo stick in between us at all times.
That's probably for the best.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. I think after 39 that
Yep, that's why I said that's for the
Yeah.
best.
yeah,
We can probably move on.
yeah.
I didn't need to get into it. That's probably for the best.
We talk about what other pods don't want to, okay?
Well, I mean, the reason, 39 was a trying time for the show. You know what I'm saying? Like 39 was tough, and I thought the show was going to go away because of it.
Yeah.
Because 39 was tough. So I'm glad that these things changed.
You know, and this is part of the reason why I like this podcast already, because like you don't have to have a set direction. You know, if we start talking about a tangent, whatever, we'll talk about it. You know, it is what it is. But back to this, right? So we're with the Keller tribe. Before we get to the immunity challenge, and Jake, pretty much the second that Alex comes back, he's like, "Bro, it's a bromance. Like, this is happening. Like, it's
Bruh,
us."
before he even comes back, he tells Sophie, bruh, I have a bromance. I looked into his eyes. It's a wrap.
It's happening.
The love at first sight. It's happening. Me and Alex were together. You can join this throuple if you want. If you don't want, tough. But we're a couple. We can be a throuple if you're in. And Soph said, I'm in for the throuple, but I would like to be a couple. And he says, well, then we could be a couple. I can be
Says final
polyamorous.
three.
It's whatever.
He said final
Yeah.
3 with Sophie. That's what he said.
Done, and done. Final 3, it's over. We're good to go. Because this is what we're looking for.
Yeah. And then I love how when Alex comes back, he's like, all right, go talk to Jeremiah. Get him as a fourth. And and Alex does it. He brings in Jeremiah as a fourth. So Jeremiah, I don't know if he knows he's the fourth. I think he might have an inkling, but either way, he's in the majority alliance, and that's the important thing. Like, I think people worry about being the fourth in the majority alliance way too much. Like, it's fine being the fourth as long as you're in the majority alliance. That's all that matters.
You think so?
At the start of the game, yeah. Like,
okay, at the start.
The only time to be worried is if you lose 3 times. Like, that's
if you get to 4. It's only a problem if you get down to 4.
Exactly. That's where it's like, okay, before this next immunity challenge, let me actually talk to somebody and see if we're thinking about, because a lot of times what ends up happening is the fourth ends up being the vote needed if you get down to those 4 to flip on one of the other people that, realizes they're third. Like, usually it's the third person that freaks out and is like, no, I don't want to be the third in this. Like, maybe it's going to be Sophie that's like, no, I don't want to be the third in them, so I'm going to use Jeremiah to flip on them. You know what I'm saying? So that's usually a better place to be, in my opinion, than even third.
That's a good point.
Like, being fourth ain't that bad at the start of the game in this Tribe of 6 format. So that's my opinion. But obviously in the game, in the moment, it's not going to feel good to be a fourth. But they did a good job of bringing Jeremiah in where he doesn't feel like a fourth. And I thought that was good. And then parallel, Jake, we go over to the Uli tribe and, they get the flint, but Jawan can't make a fire and he is frustrated to high end. What are your thoughts about this?
I'm sorry. I was just saying I fell for him. Like, I imagine that's gotta be hard, right?
He just had a moment.
Yeah.
But
you were just talking about how it's so humid there, like it's difficult, But
the hard part is that Savannah, so like we said, Savannah's the narrator, right? So at this point, Savannah has the situation with her, Sage, and Nate. Jawan's already talked about a situation with her and Sage, or Shannon, either one of them, I can't remember. Her and Shannon and Jawan. So she's like, oh, bet, I'm in the middle. So I can choose which way I go. If she can choose which way she goes, she's looking at everybody a little bit more skeptically. Jawan has this situation, so she immediately goes, I'm going with the Nate Rizzo sitch. So if she's going with Nate Rizzo, she's like, Jawan will be the first one to go. My guy was having a moment. Let the man have a moment.
I think what she was getting at is that she wants an emotionally stable alliance member. And that's understandable. You don't want someone that's emotionally unstable as your alliance member. And I can understand that. We've seen that work out in really bad ways in the past, right? And unless you can, in a way, get that person to do exactly what you want and know they're going to do it guaranteed, we haven't seen that happen on a season really since I guess Redemption Island. When Boston Rob was with Philip Shepard and Philip got second place, like, I think that is really where we saw, someone that had a super extremely outgoing personality be in alliance with someone that is much more level-headed and thinking about the game in every step and being very strategic in every aspect, compared to, just being a character, whatever. I think that might have been the last time we really saw a tight duo actually work like that. So, like, I can understand Savannah saying, yeah, I want somebody that's emotionally stable and that isn't going to trip out about making a fire or get down about making a fire. Because if you get down about this, what happens when you get down about us losing an immunity challenge? Then you aren't even able to try making a fire. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so how are you going to feel then when we got to vote somebody out? Like, can I rely on you to not get antsy and get cold feet and think it'll be you? Like that does matter at the end of the day, is someone that can level head through trying times.
I can see that. I was just thinking, if he spent all this time, as he says to us through the confessional, he spent all this time practicing the fire. And then he's not able to get it when he's out here doing it. So he feels like his self-worth is kind of down because he is not coming through with what he thought he'd be able to do.
Even on my season, right? Like, I didn't get the fire when I tried to make it at first, right? And I could have had a Jawan moment and, stormed to the end of the beach and stared into the sun. Like, I didn't do that. I was like, all right, who's next? Like, let's try. Someone else try to make it. Like, let's get this thing going. And once we got it, I was happy. Like, I didn't feel like I was like down because of it. I just felt like, dang, I couldn't do that. I guess that was harder than I thought, like it was one of those moments. It wasn't really an emotional draining or an emotional taxing moment for me. So I think there definitely are ways to handle it. And for his tribe mates to notice that it rubbed him that much of a wrong way to the point where she's like, I don't know if I can work with you. That is a problem in my opinion.
Well, one thing I do wonder is how many other people noticed. Was it just her?
It could have been. That's the thing. We only got her point of view about that situation.
Did he think he was in a private moment? I wonder. Did he think that he was by himself? You know what I'm saying? And she was like just watching. Because that's what it felt like. She was perched. And she was just watching him have a little private meltdown.
I mean, Jake, what do you think about this? Oh, you're muted, but Jake, by the way.
Okay, I'm trying to get this mic to work. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. I don't know. Like, is there ever really a private moment on Survivor?
I guess confessionals.
Does that feel private though? Like you're still talking to a producer or whoever, right?
Yeah, you're talking to a producer. Like, even though like you are in a private, yeah, like it feels private enough to where I can say what I want. So like I never felt like I wasn't able to say, like, that felt like a diary room. Like, this is where I'm gonna get my stuff off. Like, like this is where I am comfortable to say how I feel, to where I can talk to the camera, I could talk to America, I could talk to the producers, I could answer their questions, I could say how I'm really feeling in the moment about every little thing. So yeah, it does definitely feels private going on confessionals, but that's probably it. I mean, aside from taking an aqua dump, because like, but that was also something I didn't do on Survivor. I never had to. I never pooped the whole 12 days I was out there. So never had to take an aqua dump. I never won a food reward, so I didn't have anything to poop.
You didn't poop for 12 days?
12 days, never poop.
That's crazy.
Yep. I mean, when you don't eat anything, bro, that's the thing. When you don't eat anything, there's nothing to poop. I didn't win the hot dog reward. I didn't win the merge feast. I didn't win, like, there was nothing to poop except for those little fish that I ate, but that wasn't enough to make anything to poop, I guess, because I shared them. Unlike it was portrayed as. But no, yeah, I don't know what taking an aqua dump feels like. So yeah,
it sounds like you got to go back.
Hey, listen, I'm down. Shoot, I'm definitely down. I'm definitely down for a good time. Whether it's that or they want to throw me in the Big Brother house or throw me in the Trader's Castle or throw me in the House of Villains mansion, whatever it is, I'm down to have some fun for sure. But an aqua dump is definitely one of those things on the bucket list I didn't get to do. But I guess that's just because I didn't win anything, like any food. So like that, I don't know. I guess it's on me. So I guess I gotta win more when I'm out there.
Yeah.
If I'm out there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But salute to the people that are able to take aqua dumps, because, it means you're eating good on Survivor. That's a good thing. So, but yeah. But back to where we were with this tribe, this tribe with Uli. Pretty much Savannah's not a fan, and then it cuts to the immunity challenge, right? Like there wasn't really too much else from Uli in that situation. So we're finally at the immunity challenge. You go grab a snake. Well, you dive in the mud, so we're back to the mud. So you're birthed into Survivor by the mud, right? So you get into the mud. I guess as long as it's before the first tribal council, everyone's still birthed in Survivor in the mud, right? As Jeff likes to say. So they dive into the mud. They go head out. They get the snake. They bring back the snake, and then you got to do the ball path that was introduced on my season. It was the second immunity challenge in my season, and it was the first immunity challenge in this season. So, I thought that it was cool, but I thought that it was kind of clear cut once it got to who was at the end of which tribe was going to be going to tribal, because this is definitely one of those things where you want your most coordinated people on this in order to succeed. And Kella had Annie and Nicole both on it, with Nicole in the middle. And being in the middle on this specific snake path puzzle, maze, whatever you want to call it, is insanely important because the middle person has the toughest job to do. And I only know that because I was the middle person on this challenge itself. You have to be insanely coordinated. You're constantly either moving back or forth. Unlike the people on the sides where it's really, you got to move and put on slack or not. Probably 75% of the time, the person that is in the middle has to literally all the time either put on slack or not. And so it's a very tough job being in the middle on that challenge. So when I saw Nicole being there and I saw who the other tribes put in the middle of theirs, I was like, okay, this is probably not going to end well for Kella. And they end up going to tribal because they can't get it down the path.
It's an interesting situation because this challenge itself had so many parts.
Yeah.
And being birthed through the mud. Yeah, and being birthed through the mud once again. Everyone had the mud in their faces. And the snake looked so heavy.
It did.
It looked so heavy. When I looked at the snake, I was like, man, Kella's in trouble.
Yeah.
Kella's in trouble. And because outside of Jake, there's not much muscle on that tribe.
I mean, they got Alex.
And that, you see how good that is, right? Like they have Alex, but that's not doing much. And then they get to the maze. And this is a maze we've seen now a few times. It's a snake maze. You realize we're going to be in for a long season for Kella.
Yeah. It feels like another disaster tribe.
Yeah.
In the making.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Is the no flint, no machete, no pot and pan a good thing?
Why would that be a good thing?
According to Jeff, it's a good thing. This is his desired result, according to the On Fire podcast.
Because I feel like we get nothing but disaster tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that didn't happen on my season. We didn't have a disaster tribe on my season.
You guys were like the exception to the rule over the last 9 seasons.
That is true. That is true.
Every other one, we seem to like have them go for days and days because like once they lose the first challenge, they lose the second one. It seems to be we then start a trend.
It's just a domino effect.
Yeah, I mean, losing the first one definitely, like not having it for the first guaranteed 4.5 days if you lose the first immunity challenge, it's definitely tough. And if you didn't win the Flint off rip, like it's definitely very, very tough. So I guess what I got to say to that is like, yeah, it does matter, but like at the same time, you're not eating anything if you're on the other tribes. It's like they caught a crab, that was it, and they split a crab. Like that's not like worth going to town over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not worth a ton of substance. Like it's not like you get a ton more when you have your flint and pot and machete, literally other than quite literally other than fire. Like that's it. Just being warm at night. Like just having a little bit of vision at night. That's the only difference, really. There's not that big of a difference because you're not catching too many things that you're cooking. Like how many times do we see tribes without a fishing gear catching like a ton of crabs or things like that and just eating good just because they have a pot and machete and flint? It doesn't happen.
I mean, that's fair. The reason I just asked is because I just feel like I'm just going by recency data, right? I'm just going by the data. And it seems to have some kind of correlation. I don't know if it's true. I'm just going by what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that first immunity challenge was very hard because, like, mentally we know we're the only tribe that doesn't have it. But it also made us want to go harder in the challenge. Like, we were the only tribe that didn't have fire last night. Like, guys, let's do this. I definitely gave us a little pep talk before it. Like, hey, like, look, like, let's. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's lock this thing down. Like, we wanted more than any of them. Like,
let's lock in.
We gotta act like it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's do this, and we were able to pull it out. So, like, it makes you want to lock in more, and have the best strategy for everything, and your pre-tribal strategy talk and stuff like that. But at the same time, in the back of your mind, man, if we lose this, these other tribes are sitting pretty, and we probably are going to be a disaster tribe. So it really is a kick in the butt to do better. So if you have that kick in the butt and still lose, like, you guys were probably just destined to lose the challenge regardless.
Right. Okay, I can see that.
Yep. And so we do end up seeing Kella lose the challenge. But before that does happen, we have a little interesting moment. We got Nicole spitting her water from her canteen directly into Jeremiah's face. Jake, I want your reactions to this moment.
I didn't care. I didn't care for this moment, I guess, is the most diplomatic way of saying that. Not because it's gross, because obviously it's gross, but because it felt like such a performative moment. Like, wouldn't it be silly if I did this? It wasn't like, unless I'm misremembering, Jeremiah didn't say, please spray me in the face, did he? He said, how did you get it off? And then Nicole sprayed him in the face with water that was already inside of her body. It's just weird to me. What's with this season and weird body stuff? Answer me that, Rome. You've been on the show. You know Jeff Probst.
I don't know. I didn't talk about weird body things out there with my tribe. That wasn't the topic of discussion. I feel like my tribe was generally skewed toward the more mature side, opposed to skewed toward the Gen Z talk about anything tribes. Yeah, I can't sit here and say that's normal. I don't get it. I don't know why we're talking about liking poop and things like that and spitting in people's faces, and I don't know. There's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of body things going on early in this season. So, I mean, when it comes to the spitting in the face, I will say this. It's creative. Now, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not opposed to this idea. Listen, here's the thing. I got yelled at the marooning challenge by production because I wear contacts, right? So I dove into the mud. My eyes were open. I don't know why. I don't know why I had my eyes open, but I did. I dove into the mud, eyes open, and I got through the mud. When I came out of the mud, there was mud all over my contact lens. I couldn't see anything, right? I was literally blind. I couldn't see anything, and I was blinking, trying to get the mud out my eyes. It was bad. I literally was running the wrong way. I almost ran into a pole. Jeff was like, Rome, run the wrong way. Like, it was bad. Then like my pants were falling down because I didn't put on my belt yet. Like there's a lot of bad things that were happening in that moment. Like immediately, that was the fact that was the immediate start to my challenges on Survivor. I was like, what did I just sign up for? Like, am I in over my head? I was like, did I just really mess up thinking that I was going to be able to do well at these things? But it ended up working out. You know, I ended up blinking enough to get vision enough where I could see the knots that I was supposed to untie and things like that. But when it comes to this, I got yelled at because when I got back to the mat after throwing my puzzle piece down, I immediately took my canteen and dumped it over my eyes because I couldn't see, right? Like there was mud in my eyes. So like I needed to get water in my eyes. So I immediately dumped water into my eyes. And production immediately, don't wash the mud off. Don't wash. They were like, leave the mud on. Like, don't wash the mud away with the water from your canteen, right? And I was confused, but I guess they want the look of you got the mud on your face. You know what I'm saying? You're on Survivor. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't see, so like I literally had to do it real quick. So I was able to at least do it real quick to where I got it out before it was an issue. So I was just sitting there blinking voraciously the rest of the challenge, just hoping we won. We didn't. And so I can understand where Nicole's coming from if production had told them, because they didn't tell us before I did it. They just yelled at me for doing it and told me not to do that. So I was like, okay, my bad. They might have told them, hey, don't use your canteen water to like don't dump it onto your eyes. So maybe she was like, they didn't say nothing about spitting on your eyes though. So like, you know, like
another loophole.
She said in Exit Press that she asked Jeremiah to spit in her eyes. Now we don't know if that's how Jeremiah feels the situation went or not. We don't know if this was Jeremiah taking the wheels, but Nicole said that she asked him to do this. So if Nicole asked Jeremiah to spit in her eyes, maybe this was a big brain genius move by Nicole and we're all just have the wool pulled over our eyes.
Yeah, maybe it was just a little brain in it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, but let's look at the results of Nicole's game also.
I mean that has no bearing. That has no bearing on this. That has no bearing.
I'm just saying, if we're big brain in this move, how big is that brain in terms of survival?
That has no bearing on this, sir.
Oh man! So they lose the challenge, and they are going to tribal. Now there is absolutely zero talk about idols, zero talks about shot in the darks. This entire pre-tribal scramble, which I think is interesting because to new viewers they have no idea what a shot in the dark is until it gets talked about, and then they're like, "Wait, what is it?" And then like they don't even know, and then it might hit, and they're like, "Wait, what happened?" They're confused. But I think that if Shot in the Dark's gotten explained a little bit more each season, that would probably be better, or just take it out if you're not going to explain it, one of the two. But I thought it was interesting that there was no idol hunting, no idol talks, like no Shot in the Dark talks, like nothing. And like it was very clearly either Annie or Nicole. Like it was very blunt that it was a tribe strength issue and we need to get rid of one of them. It's just the issue about which one is it going to be.
Right. It was a done deal. It was done data. The four of them were deciding which of the two, and they obviously told each other that it was the other, and that was a wrap. So they didn't even need to fake that they needed to bluff that it might be the other two, because it's not even until at Tribal Council when they say we're deciding between two people, and Nicole goes, "Wait, am I in trouble? am I in trouble? Hold on." Because she obviously didn't. She thought she heard one plan and didn't even know there was possibly a second. I kind of feel bad for her because but that's like also not doing your due diligence, right? If I hear one plan and everyone's on the page with this one plan, I gotta at least have an idea of what does Annie think the plan is. Rome, in your situation,
yeah,
what did you think the plan was?
Well, remember, I was the first one to throw out a name in my group at the merge, right? Like I threw out Kyle's name, and then Kyle won immunity, right? So like people were down to vote out Kyle, and then he won immunity because people on the blue tribe already had issues with Kyle, so they like Sue clearly had issues. Like so Kyle was an easy vote out, and then he won immunity. So that was where it was like, oh, and then it got back to word that, oh, Rome was gunning for Kyle. So since Kyle won immunity, he was able to be like, let's just get out Rome. And it was an easy vote. So
flip it.
So once Kyle won immunity, I was like, all right, let's do Saul instead. Right. I was like, does anyone have an issue with that? And no one said they had an issue with that. Right. Which, I mean,
but you're the one leading the charge. So you had the name.
Exactly. But I was the one that threw out the name.
Yeah.
And I even said in confessionals, I even said, I was like, I'm 75% sure it's Saul tonight. 25% sure it's me. And the producer even this didn't make the air because like you know they wanted to look like I was completely clueless and things like that, but like I understood the situation. Like no one else is throwing out a name. I haven't heard any other name. Everyone's just going with what I'm saying. So either I'm literally a mastermind or I'm just getting voted out tonight. Like one of the two. So like it's gonna be one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not really a question in my head, right? So but I was definitely more on the side of I think that everyone's just down for an easy vote and no one really has a problem letting go of Saul. So that's where I was mistaken, is that, well, really they didn't because they let him go a couple of tribals later. But like either way, you know what I'm saying? Like, but either way, you get my point. I thought that people were going to be fine with that. So I was like, all right, cool. I guess this is the vote. So, but I knew that there was definitely a good chance that that it could be me, and it ended up being me. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So in this situation, Nicole, she seems genuinely surprised that she could be up because the moment Alex says we're deciding between two people, she says 1, 2, 3. Hold on, wait a minute, huh? Me? Mathing. 2 people. I talked to 4 people. But wait, what? Who's the second? Am I the second person?
It's part of having a small tribe, I guess. Like it's bound to happen to somebody. So, given that, like, what can you do, you know? So I guess, in that case, I feel bad for her. But I don't feel any more bad for her than I would have for anyone else in this situation. She's the first boot, you know?
Do you think that she could have done anything different in her situation?
No, I mean... It's just groupthink at this point, I think. if a majority of people agree, oh, that's a name that isn't my name, I'm going to go with that. I mean, that's what I would do if I were in that situation.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I just feel like the edit, at least what we were shown, it just showed that she thought that it was going to be Annie and just went with it and got voted out. It didn't really show that she really tried to solidify her spot or like solidify her connections really with the people that she was supposed to be working with. So I think that kind of painted the picture of why she got voted out. Is she just didn't make those personal connections.
I don't listen to any external or exit press, I should say. So I don't know what her view of her story was. I don't remember what my point was in bringing that up. I just I don't know what her experience was. So I don't. Maybe she addressed my issues, but it feels like if she didn't connect with those people in those first 2 or 3 days, maybe she's just not a person who connects with people in that way, and that's why she was the first out. Sometimes that's just how people's personalities are. I don't know.
I mean, they also made it clear that it was a tribal strength thing. Like, it had to do with the immunity challenge.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's hard to argue in the first week.
Yeah. And I think it was interesting how happy everyone was at tribal, literally until Jeremiah said, by the way, Jeff, it's down to 2 people. And everyone was like, wait, hold on. Everyone that's in on the vote is like, why did he just say that? And everyone that's out on the vote is like, wait, what? So I thought that was a hilarious moment in a shift in how things work. But regardless, Nicole gets voted out, is the first boot of Survivor 49. One thing that I do want to do with each boot that we have is ask each of you if the person that got voted out is someone that you, 1, think we'll see again, and 2, would like to see again. So if you could answer both of those questions about Nicole. Jake, I'll let you go first.
I wouldn't mind seeing her again. I don't think we will, though. I don't think she did enough to make a name of herself. I mean, how often is it that they bring back first boots?
Franquesca,
of course. Other than that, though.
Yeah.
I would love to see her come back a third time, though.
Is there another first
third time's a charm?
Back?
No.
I can't.
There's only one? Oh my gosh, that's legendary.
Yeah.
First
boot.
Yeah.
She was the first boot again.
Wow.
She was first boot again. And by the way, if there's a first boot season, Francesca still has to be the first boot. I mean, she just has to be, right?
Francesca and Jelinski are like the first ballot, first boot. Like they got to be like the captains of a first. Like I would love a first boot captain season because you're picking all people that got last. That would be hilarious. Like you can't.
That would be really
better
fun.
than anyone. Like we all got last. Like what are we doing? Like that would be a hilarious captain season. Is
I think the best way to do that too is bring back all 49 first boots, or 48, I guess, with Franquesca, and then have them only pick 18 of them and then ship the rest of them off. They're sorry, you didn't make the cut again.
That would be brutal, man, to go through that process just to get turned away.
Just to be cut.
Who are the 2 people that had that happen to, where it was a schoolyard pick and they were the last 2?
So what was that, Palau?
Yeah, I think it was Palau, yeah. That sounds right.
I think one of them her name was Wanda, I want to say.
Wanda. And then there was the young strapping lad that just didn't get picked.
Patrick or Philip or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. But either way, that's the only time where something like that has happened where they brought people out and they were like, all right, you're in the game. And then, all right, you didn't get picked. Bye. That's the only time it's happened. I don't know if they do that again. But
I'm not surprised they never brought that twist back.
Yeah. I wouldn't be mad at
Jonathan was his name.
Jonathan, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have remembered that one. That's a great trivia question right there. I wouldn't be opposed to a first boot season. Even if there was, personally, I don't think that we'll probably see Nicole again personally. And then when it comes to would I want to see her again, I don't really feel like she did enough for me personally to where I'm like, ooh, I want to see Nicole back. Give her another chance. So I personally, I'm gonna go no on mine. Kevin, what about you, man?
I didn't see enough to need to see her again, and I don't think that she would make the first boot season. Not memorable enough. So it's gonna be a double no for me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's our episode 1 breakdown. That was a very long episode breakdown already. So we appreciate all the people that are here still listening to us. Now listen, we're gonna do one podcast about 2 episodes, but we're gonna go ahead and split this up into 2 videos because this first podcast is already quite lengthy. So catch us back on the next episode. We're gonna be dropping this next episode probably the exact same time as this one. It'll just be in another video, so that way people can listen to the episode breakdown that they want to. And yeah, pretty much. I guess that's it for us for this first episode. If you want to know where to find us, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Rome the Host. Jake, you want to let them know where they can find you at?
Yeah, you can listen to my other Survivor podcast. We're going on a decade going on now for that. It's called the Compassionate Haters Survivor Podcast. You can find it on YouTube or wherever else you find your podcasts.
You can find me on Twitter and on the Threads and on Blue Sky at KG Fury. You can find me also on For the Fans. We're on YouTube. We cover Survivor and Big Brother. We'll be back. If there's a winter season, we'll be back for Big Brother.
Yeah, and also we got we got some Discord info as well. We are gonna have a Discord that you guys can join if you guys want to join and be a part of the Rome's reality community. It's gonna be interesting. We'll see how it goes. Right now we just got the Discord. We're setting it up. Pretty much it's where we hang out. It's where we record the things. It's where when eventually we go live and get fan questions, things like that. We'll be talking with you all. It's where we can answer questions if you guys have any. It's where you guys can also submit questions for the show. At the end of every show, we're gonna have a fan question segment. So obviously not able to do it this time because it's the first time and you guys had no idea that there's even a Discord or that there's a place to ask us questions. So if you got any questions that you want us to answer on the show, feel free to go ahead and type it in the Discord in that section, and we'll try to get to it if it's a solid question. All right, and once again, thank you guys for listening to this first episode. It seriously means a ton, start to finish, top to bottom. No idea where this is gonna go or how this is gonna be, but it was definitely a fun first episode, and I hope you guys all enjoyed it as much as I did. All right, I will catch you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.